Hello everybody, Yom Tov, it's Tuesday, so happy Tuesday to everybody. I wasn't expecting to make a video on a Tuesday. As a rule, I don't normally like making videos back to back, because even though I don't work from a script and I don't do editing and all that sort of thing, I do tend to tire a lot more easily than I used to, and I do like to have a day off in between putting out a video. But it's come to my attention that the Rewired Soul has reared his ugly personality yet again, and apparently he now wants an apology from every drama channel, every commentary channel, or anybody who has put out a hate video against him in recent months. And apparently, oh look, we've got some sunshine coming through today, isn't that lovely? We'll grasp that positive energy while we can, while at this moment in time I don't feel particularly positive. I feel these overwhelming sense of rage, to be quite frank with you. But he wants an apology from all of us, because based on something that Trisha Paytas has said with regard to, it's something to do with BPD. And he said something about, how it feels, the burden of being right all the time. And it's not often he's wrong, but he's right again. And anybody who has watched me ever since I started, the Haven, and ever since I started going down the path towards trying my tiny little bit towards supporting people in the mental health community, and it's only really since I've realised, and it really has hit me, about depression, being part of mental health. I don't know why, but for so many years I just had, the ex-husband saying, what have you got to be depressed about? You've got a great life and what have you. But, I've lived with depression that long that I just had it in a box all on its own. And I never really can't find the right words because I'm just so mad right now. I never really had depression under the umbrella of mental illness. And I'm not ashamed of having depression. Far from it. It's just part of who I am. It happens to run in the family. And unfortunately my children have depression. My husband, isn't prone to depression. He's had periods of depression in his life, and he came off his antidepressants about 4 or 5 years ago, which I'm really, really happy for him. But he's not one of these people who worries. He's one of these people who will deal with things as and when they happen, and he doesn't tend to think that far ahead. He just deals with the moment, whereas I'm the total opposite. I worry about things terribly. I do worry about what people think about me. I do worry about what people say about me. And the reason why I worry about what people think and say about me is if it isn't true. And don't get me wrong, a lot of what people will say and think about me is more than likely true, because it's of actions that I've taken or things that I have said that have put me in the hot seat, right? I've never made any secrets of the fact, and I'm sorry if this is going to be a video with swear words in it, but I am my own worst critic, and if anybody wants to look at me now and say you're consistently a fuck up and you're always fucking things up, then I would be the first one to say I agree with you. I absolutely do agree with you. It's cost me friendships in my life. It's cost me such a lot because of my attitude towards things. Sometimes I have knee-jerk reactions to things, and I'm sure I'm not the only one where something's happened and then I've had this instant reaction without engaging brain before opening mouth. You know, that is one of my major faults, right? And as you come to know me, you will realise that more and more, like recently with a conversation I had with Ria, face to face, one of our Haveners, who's become a very good friend to me. Ria did tell you that what you saw was what you got, except the only difference is that we were having a live exchange together. But she said, you are the same person, you know, in real life as you are in a video. And I was very proud of that, because this is what I've been telling you all along. And I was very proud of the fact that I didn't have to pay Ria to say that. But Ria accepts me for who I am. She knows that I'm prone to fuck-ups, and, you know, it's not a trait I'm proud of, but it's part of who I am. And it was what I was trying to explain to you the week about Yom Kippur, where I've got to sit, and if I can't apologise to somebody in real life, then I've got to put it out to the universe and say that I'm sorry, and hope that one day I will be forgiven for things I've said and for things I've done. And if I can't get that forgiveness, that is something I have to bear. That is something for me to bear, to sit on my conscience, for me to feel guilty about for the rest of my life. And that's how my faith helps me deal with that, right? It's a guilt thing. It is what it is, right? But this thing with Chris Boutte, there is no way I feel guilty about anything I said about that man. There is no way on this earth I'm going to ever take back anything I've said about that man. Because I'll tell you now, for someone who has no qualifications in the mental health field apart from being a bit of a life coach, he's telling people to come off medication. That's dangerous, right? On that alone, you shouldn't be going anywhere near him. The minute you tell that man that you're on various medications, he starts telling you to come off them. And then he lies about it and then says he doesn't say these things. He does, because I've heard him. Thousands of other people have heard him. He's the biggest liar walking. You know, we can all tell lies, but you've got to admit that man has got a track record of telling lies. He also goes on about, he's got this new thing on part of having BPD and being bipolar, because now you can have hypersexuality. Now, you weren't exactly saying that, were you, Chris, when you were calling my friend Gary of Bipolar Corner a predator and a pervert, were you? When you got your girlfriend and her friend to go on about what a predator and a pervert he was, when all the lad was doing was talking to people in the live stream and giving them pointers as to where they could go to get help or to get more information. But no, according to you, he was a predator and he was a pervert. But now it's all right for you to talk about hypersexuality. You've got more faces than the town hall clock. He's what we call, where I come from, a 50-faced bastard. And I'm sorry for all the people who don't like bad language. But, you know, I'm sorry, I'm human. I get angry, I get upset. And when times like this happen, then yes, I do tend to swear. And I do tend to let rip. Because over the months, I have seen him rip people apart. I've seen him take people down who have got more knowledge than him under their little fingernails than he will ever hope to have. I've seen him slam people down and say, "You're blocked," and completely smack them down in the middle of a conversation with them when they're looking to talk more to him, and because they've disagreed with something that he said, he slammed them down. Because if you're not praising the man, you see, if you're not praising him and telling him that he's all that's marvellous, then therefore you're against him, and therefore you're an enemy, and you're no good to him, and you're a hater. You're not allowed to be someone with a differing opinion. Now, having a different opinion does not make you a hater, right? I can talk to people in the Haven and I can have a differing opinion to them. It doesn't mean I hate them. It just means we're having a difference of opinion. And it's one of those agree to disagree moments. But you can still be civil and you can still be respectful and you can still be kind. And you can still have a friendship. It doesn't mean that you've got to agree on everything they say and do, unless it's well out the norm and it's going to cause somebody any harm. But if you're having a difference of opinion, that's okay. It's part of a normal, healthy human discourse. You don't automatically become a hater just because, like yesterday when I did my music loves, if somebody come along to me and said, "I don't like any of the things you've chosen in your music list. I hate every single song," am I going to get in a huff about that? No, of course I'm not. Somebody could be in the Haven and absolutely love rap music. I personally can't stand it. Doesn't mean to say I'm going to hate the person. It's just their choice in music's not mine. And we can maybe have a laugh over it, you know, or what have you. Or I'll say, "I'm sorry if you don't mind, but I won't be listening to it because it's just, it doesn't get me. I just, it's not for me." But whatever you say against this guy, oh, you're automatically a hater. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you this, and this is not going to be a long video, but I'm going to say this. And I do know that Chris watches every single thing that's put out about him. I do know that. And I know that he's asked the drama channels to respond to him. Now, I don't think they probably will, to be honest with you, because they're not going to give him the attention. Because that's what he's doing, he's craving attention. And I know that some people will say to me, "Well, why have you made this video? You're just giving him attention." And I would agree with 50% of that, certainly. But sometimes it just doesn't work if you sit silently. And I've actually taken a lot of courage from Gary of Bipolar Corner and Gary Unfiltered. That's Gary's second channel, by the way. And a very good channel it is too, if I may say so. And if I happen to be biased because I love Gary to bits, then I'm biased. But I happen to like Gary Unfiltered, and I also like his Bipolar Corner channel because that's how I got to know him. But his Gary Unfiltered, I really do like that one. So, if you know, I'm going to link it in the description. If you want to go and see Gary and Gary Unfiltered, please do, because I think you'll love it. Right? But I'm sorry. I do feel that I have to speak up because I have built up the subscriber base I have on me speaking up against the Rewired Soul and his injustices. And I'm not going to sit back and shut up. I said that every time that he said or did something, that I would have something to say. And I've tried to ignore him, to be quite frank with you, I have. I've tried to ignore him. I've tried to forget about him. Because normally I would say he's not worth my time and he's not worth my energy. Because he just isn't. But, sorry, excuse me. I don't know whether I'm coming down with a cold or whether I'm starting to get a mild fibro thing. But, you know, I was telling you the other day about feeling sort of like when the fibro comes along, makes you feel a bit fluey and what have you. But it's just me. And I'm sorry, I know the COPD and what have you, but this is one of those times where I was telling you about when I've got to have a cigarette because I get worked up. One of those times. Over the past few months, I have spoken to countless people who that man has hurt, who he's tried to demoralise. His book that's literally lie from cover to cover is cancelled with one L. You know, where he didn't name names, but by Christ, he might as well have done. You know, we've all read the books now. We all know that he ripped Dr. Todd Grande to bits. And we all know that he ripped Peter Mont to bits. And he ripped my friend Steph to bits. And my little brother Jason to bits. We all know he's done that. And if you'll remember from the video I made where I broke down because a story made me feel so upset, was the lady, and like I said, I don't have her name, she never put her name, and then her comment disappeared, where she claimed that he told her that because she couldn't give up the painkillers, if she wasn't prepared to do that for her children, then she was a bad mother. And she was on painkillers because of a bad birth, a very bad birth with our second child. And she tried very, very hard to give up the painkillers. So she got hooked on opioid drugs, but she couldn't cope with the pain coming off them. The pain was too hard. And she tried different things and nothing was as effective as what she'd been given to cope with the pain. And yet this guy was, you're not trying hard enough. I mean, I read what she said he'd said, and it was, I'd seen his words used like that to other people before. So I knew I could believe in what she was saying because the words were so familiar and so similar. You know, the man is a recovered drug and drink addict, alcohol addict, you know, suffering from depression and what have you. You know, I'm sorry, I'm becoming tongue-tied. I don't like hating people. Because hate, you've got to engender so much energy. And I'm getting to a point in my life now with my health's not the best. Right, I think it was my friend Kate said to me the other day, considering all the various, you know, health conditions I've got, she said, you look damn good on it. And I don't think I do. Not with, you know, the eye bags and the tired looking skin and the hair that just won't play. You know, I don't think I do, but, you know, that's just me. But I don't like hating on people. To be quite honest with you, the way I cope with people these days is I tend just to I listen to what they've got to say, or read what they've got to say, and then I just walk away and I just pretend they're not there anymore. I just don't listen. I don't hear it. I don't read it. If I see something there, I just don't bother, because I think, what's the point in answering you? You've made you've come to your own conclusion about me and how you think I act and how I'm going to react. So you've made your own mind up. It's pointless me arguing with you, so I'm going to say nothing at all. Right? So anybody out there recently who's sent me a message and what have you and wondered why I haven't responded, it's purely because that I either haven't agreed with what you've said, or I literally cannot be bothered to argue with you, because you wouldn't listen to me anyway. It's pointless. You know, if anybody wants to prove me wrong and say, look, I'm prepared to listen to you, then I'll talk to you. But if you're not prepared to listen to me and get my side of things, then I don't see the point going forward. And that's just me. And that's one of the reasons why I try not to get het up anymore. I would rather have my good days and use my good days split between my family, my friends, and the haven. Because it's those three things that keep me going, that keep me wanting to be here, right? And keep my head on straight and keep me feeling positive. And I don't like having to make videos like this. But I can tell you this, Chris Boutte, you will get an apology from me the day I grow a penis. How about that? Because, you know, it's only due to my own lack of, you know, proper spine and being in this wheelchair and what have you. But otherwise, I'm a fully functioning woman, and I've always been a fully functioning woman from the minute I became a woman. And I've gotten, you know, it's a shame that my health conditions have stopped me being a fully functioning woman. Let's not go into any more of that than we need to. But, you know, I am. So the day I grow a penis is the day I will apologise to you, Chris Boutte. And I know it's probably all down to this thing with Trisha, but I'm sorry, you were the guy who made 17 videos on her. She was the girl who said stop. You wouldn't stop. You just carried on. And let's just remember the reason why you do it, Chris. Gary, I'm sorry. I apologise. Scrub that. Let's remember, Chris, why you do this. Money. Don't kid anybody that you're doing this to help people. You are doing this to help yourself, because you condemned yourself out your own mouth when the shit hit the fan, when the drama channels rumbled you, and you went on about apocalypse, and when you claimed people were coming for your son. You know, I know my memory can be bad at times, but when it comes to you, I haven't forgotten. And I don't forget, and I won't forget. You are a dangerous man. You are a liar. You are a hypocrite. You are a passive-aggressive narcissist who's ruled by his ego. You've got an ego bigger than fucking Jupiter, and you don't care who knows it. Your book cancelled is so woe with me, it makes Eeyore look like the most positive written about creature in the history of literature. You're a disgrace. You single-handedly have brought more stigma to the mental health community than I think I've ever known. And we can well do without you. And you may have new people coming along now who you can con. But trust me, one by one, they will start to get wise to you. Because plenty others did, me included. Because right at the back of the beginning I thought, oh, he's not bad, this guy. He seems to know what he's talking about. Until I realised what you are really like. You are only in this for what you can make. And you're not making as much as you were. Because you're not getting the views that you did. And the only person you've got to blame for that is you. Because you fucked up, mate. Not me. And not any of the others. You fucked up. You couldn't even work with somebody like Dr. Todd Grande, who's very, very well respected in his field, you know, without telling lies. And he went on about mercy and forgiveness. But I'm sorry, I'm not cut of the same cloth as Dr. Todd Grande, you see, because I wouldn't show you the mercy and I'll never forgive you. I don't run that way. As far as I'm concerned, you go out there and you hurt somebody, you're pond scum. I'm starting to get hiccups now. I don't know whether my tummy just doesn't like what I'm saying. So that's my answer to you. And anybody else, my advice to you is, if he says, I want my apology, and you think, oh, well, really, maybe I should show some mercy and forgiveness and apologise to him for what I said. Don't be daft. Do you honestly really think he cares? He just wants his moment of glory. He wants to wipe his feet all over you. Well, you're not wiping your feet all over me, mate. You know, I may be no oil painter, but I'm a damn sight prettier to look at than you. And if that sounds personal, then, you know, you can take it for as you bloody like it. Because I don't care. I don't give a damn about you, your personal feelings, none of it. Because I'm human. That's why. And you've said horrible things about people I deeply care about. So, you know, sorry, mate. If you dish it out, you've got to be prepared to take it back. And if I ain't no oil painting, then you're certainly no Picasso. Maybe in its nightmares. No, you get no apology from me. I'll just keep on going for as long as I need to. Every time you come up with some abomination out of your mouth and I find out about it, trust me, I will be there and I will slam you straight back down to earth, mate. Because I've always said that I would stand up for people who didn't have a voice. And I'm going to keep on doing that. I'm going to keep my promise. I'll keep it to myself. If nobody else wants me to do it, then I'll keep it to myself. I'll keep my own promise to myself. Anybody who's got any wisdom about them wouldn't forgive you. And certainly wouldn't apologise to you. I'll tell you something. Gary Heck, you know, as far as I'm concerned, your book is only fit for wiping his backside on. And then again, I would like him to get it for free. And then he doesn't have to cough up. It's $5 that you want for it. Oh, so far you've only managed to raise 15. I want to shake the 3 people who gave you the money. Or maybe one person who gave you 15. I don't know. Neither do I care. You make me sick. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to go on for long, and I have. I've gone on for half an hour, and that's enough. So I apologise to anybody if I've offended with my language. But I'm sorry, it's just the mood I'm in today. After coming over with that, like I said, I didn't expect to make a video. I wasn't feeling particularly great this morning, but I had to say something. I could not let this go. And I want the people to know who I promised I would be a voice for, that I've kept my promise and I'm still being a voice for you. And we are not going to be apologising to Chris Boutte today or tomorrow, and the following day's not looking very good either. So on that happy note, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for the folk tales. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Love you. Bye.